My 30M wife, 28F, has said she wants her mother with her when she gives birth, not me. Hi, I just need some help grappling this, please. My wife is heavily pregnant and will be giving birth in a few months. We've been discussing the practicalities, such as what to pack for the hospital stay, what route to take to the hospital, etc. When I mentioned that I can't wait to share the special birth moment with her and see our baby take its first breath, my wife told me that she doesn't want me in the room. She wants her own mother. Currently, the procedure is that they only let one additional member of family in with the mother-to-be. I assumed it would be me, but I guess my assumption was wrong. I was a bit lost for words, but I told her I understand. She could see I was a bit sad and shocked, but she said that she just knows that her mother will be able to handle the situation much better. This didn't make sense to me, except for actually having given birth to a child. I have taken care of my wife, loved her, been so patient and understanding, good-humored, listened, respected, etc., all the decent and expected things and more. I'm also bloody good in emotionally charged situations. I'm emergency rescue trained, and am highly empathetic and caring. I fully understand this is her choice to make, and she should have whoever she wants in the room with her. But why isn't that person me? I feel stupid right now, but I actually feel so heartbroken. I also understand that she might just want her mom because of the dynamic a mother has with her daughter, which I can't replace. But I still feel like I've somehow lost something. I'm unsure how to approach this. Just get over it? Can someone please help? I can't give any insight into your wife's mental state or reasoning since I don't know her, but let me share some insight into my labor. I nearly died. I almost bled out in the delivery room and required an OR to stop the bleeding. There are 3 hours between my son's birth and me being brought to recovery that I can barely account for. My husband was in the corner on a chair while my mother was right by my head, holding my baby to me. I don't remember a lot, but I remember the pure terror I felt, thinking that I was dying and my baby wouldn't know me. I remember crying to her and announcing that, "Mommy, I'm dying, aren't I?" and begging her to make sure that my baby knew me, that he knew how much I loved him. Before that day, I never would have thought that as an adult I needed my mom over the father of my child, but childbirth can be so scary, and in those moments it felt like I was more animal than human. And the only thoughts going through my head was my baby and needing my mom like I was a child. Myself again. My husband said it wasn't a thought to him that he was the one to step away from me, because my mom was watching her baby possibly die. Now I know this is a not great scenario and not the typical birthing story. But you don't need it to actually happen to be afraid. You get to feel sad about it. It's not wrong or bad that you want to be there so much you're heartbroken that you won't be. But if only one person can be with your wife when she's giving birth, and she wants that one person to be her mom, then be patient, understanding, good-humored, listened, respected, decent, highly empathetic and caring, bloody good in emotionally charged situations, and stay in the waiting room showing that you can be all of those things even when it's bloody difficult for you because you want to be the one in there. I had a traumatic delivery. My husband was there because we knew we had a stillborn. While he doesn't regret being there for me in the worst moment in our lives, it was traumatic for him. He had to watch me suffer in pain, go through labor and delivery, for no crying newborn. Then shortly after the delivery, while we were having those moments, I crashed and he had to watch me nearly die in front of him. It wrecked him. And he's a doctor. And if we had a second child, I'm certain he would not have wanted to go relive that trauma. I get it's an exciting time for you, but it can be incredibly traumatic. 2. Try to encourage her, but don't force it. I think the real asshole here is the hospital. 2 birthing partners isn't so hard to cope with, and the 2 of you offer complementary assistance. Are you able to switch out in the birthing room? Your mill will need to have a break and even go home for a rest if labor stalls. You can be there in the waiting room to get cups of tea and food, and even FaceTime with your wife. It's still a very real birth experience even without the gory bits. You're doing the best thing. Process your emotions and respect her decision, and I hope she can articulate her fears. Nobody knows how long her labor will be or what will happen, as it can be very fast or achingly slow. I hope she allows you both to be at the antenatal classes. She may want you in the birthing room at the last minute or once baby is born, so you can cut the cord. Best you are ready and available rather than down at the pub in a snotty mood. All the best. My hubby and mum were both present when our girls were born. It was a bonding experience for us all, and a real privilege for my mum to process some of the trauma from her own births years ago. Some of the comments here are downright painful. Know why I didn't want my husband? I wanted my mom, because men don't experience birth. And I wanted my mother, someone who had experienced birth multiple times, to be with me, because I was scared. And that is what made me less scared. My second choice would have been my best friend, who had also experienced birth before. Didn't mean my husband wasn't a comfort to me or anything else. It meant when I felt the pain shooting out of my asshole and I cried, because that pain certainly wasn't in any book I read. My mom could say, "I remember that. It's okay, it's normal. Please don't take it too personally." I can see from your responses on here you are a very caring, empathetic and respectful man. The birth is one day. You'll be a great dad for the rest of your life. I would check with the hospital. I know things changed because of COVID, but most of them have now allowed 2 people in the delivery room. I gave birth in February 23rd and was only allowed 1 person while in early labor, my husband. But once I got moved to the delivery suite, I got to have an extra person, which was my mom. I definitely think having her mom there would be good for her, but also having a spouse there is also important, to give them a chance to support you in a vulnerable time and watch the birth of their child. Do not listen to any jackasses telling you to put your foot down. The day you literally risk your life to pull a human out of your most tender body part is the day you can decide who is your immediate support in that moment. Look, sometimes a person just wants their mom. I know you had an expectation, and it's a hard moment to mourn, but you have to accept that this is a serious medical moment for your wife. Try not to make this about you and focus on what she needs to get through this terrifying obstacle in her near future. I think that she believes that her mother will handle it better because her mother has given birth. She also probably does not want her husband to see her suffer, or to see her give birth. There's a reason she doesn't want him in the room, and I don't think it's because she doesn't love him or that he did something wrong. Only she knows why he's not going to be in the room with her. Can you change to a different hospital that allows 2 people? I never would have picked a hospital that only allowed 1 person. I firmly believe that my husband needs to be there for the birth. But understand that a doula will be very helpful to the process. Also, when giving birth, it can be messy, scary, gross, and a whole lot of issues. I can understand wanting another woman who has gone through it to be there as support. I understand your sadness, and you seem to have the right mindset. Your child will be here and you will have so many wonderful moments. I say this as my own child is learning so many new words and games and is turning 2. This is so hard and your feelings are totally valid. However, childbirth is so scary, and sometimes you really just need your mom. I had a COVID baby and was only able to have 1 I chose my husband because I didn't want him to miss it. But I really needed my mom. Except for actually having given birth to a child, you hit the nail on the head. I'm sure your wife would love to have you there with her. But she is only allowed one person. And she chose the person intimately familiar with what she will be going through. You may be a loving, supportive, excellent partner, but your knowledge of the birthing process is all theoretical. Her mother has personal experience. She knows exactly what your wife is going to be feeling at every moment, and can empathize and encourage in ways you just can't. And I don't care how adult and independent anyone is. There are times in one's life when they want their mommy. Breathe. I'm sure you and her mom will be to switch off, as long as labor usually takes. I understand that this is a huge disappointment for you. But I'm positive this isn't a personal rejection. Be kind to your wife and yourself. First, I'm sorry. That's hard, and you have a right to mourn and be disappointed that what you wanted isn't going to happen. Maybe this will help to reframe it in your mind. What you're picturing as a beautiful experience supporting your wife and new baby is to you an event. You're picturing primarily the delivery. The 4 minutes at the end of it where you get a healthy baby. For your wife, it's a major medical procedure where her life is actively at risk. She's picturing the hours before and during the labor. Pain, the fear, the screaming, the meds making her woozy, the wondering if her fingers being numb is normal, a nurse telling her she must do this thing and looking to her mother for confirmation on if this is right or normal. It's not about love, or patience, or who will take better care of her. It's about being 5 years old and scared and wanting your mommy to tell you you aren't going to die. And she knows that because yes, her fingers also went numb, and no, she doesn't have to stop cussing just cause the rude nurse said so. I understand your disappointment. I think you shouldn't try to change her mind in case she feels pressured and thus looks at you less fondly. But I think you're within your right to ask her kindly why she chooses her mom instead of you. The answer might help you get some closure and understanding in her decision. In any case, the birth is only one moment and will be overshadowed by the million other special moments and firsts you have when actually raising your child. So there's that. I'm confused about the place she is giving birth only allowing one person in the room. Where I live, some can have 2 or more support people in addition to a trained doula. Could you look into a birth center or somewhere else to have the baby that would let you and her mother be there? Also, I don't blame you for being hurt at all. However, if I had had to choose when I had my kids, I would have chosen my mother figure over my husband. I knew she would 100% support whatever I needed. I knew she would put a nurse or anyone else in check if I needed her to, and I knew I wouldn't have to worry about how she was feeling during the birth. Mew husband is great, he means well, but he doesn't know how to navigate these situations very well. I'm old enough to remember when dads weren't expected to ever be in the delivery room. Now, the pendulum has swung completely in the other direction. In fact, guys are now shamed if they don't want to be in there with their wife, girlfriend when she's giving birth. I think his wife has every right to have her mom there if that makes her more comfortable. At the same time, he has every right to his feelings on it. Telling him to suck it up and deal with it isn't constructive at all. We want men to step up for their wife and children. So we can't tell them they have no right to be upset if they want to be there and aren't allowed to be. That's really sad and disappointing for you. Sounds like you're trying to handle it as gently as you can manage. I'm currently pregnant with my first and I want my partner there. But your wife may have her own reasons for things. It also may just be the overriding need to go with your gut in pregnancy rather than being polite or as considerate as you might normally be. Some things you could do are 1. Say you will respect her decision ultimately. but that it's a really important moment in your life too. And you'd love to be there for her and newborn. 2. Talk through any previous experiences she may have had with you in stressful situations, just to see if there are any specific moments you can discuss, address. E.g., you yelled at me that one time when we were late and now I'm afraid you'll be stressed and lash out. Might be nothing but worth just checking if a minor misunderstanding is playing a bigger part than it should. 3. Ask about what she's getting from her mom and then find ways to replicate it. Also, remember that people change their minds. Don't give up hope yet. Go to birth classes as a support. Help her with anxiety, meditation, yoga. Continue to be there the way you say you have been. Talking matters much less than what you do. Wishing you all the best and hoping that something allows you and your partner to be there together. And feeling great. Sometimes you just need your mom. She could feel that after watching her give birth. You'll look at her differently. I've seen countless stories in the past year of fathers watching the birth of their children and then being disgusted by their wives. I would talk to her and see if giving birth is making her insecure about anything. I wish I'd only had my mom. My partner never looked at me the same. Plus he was useless. Not saying all men are. Eventually it ended our relationship.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.